with all relevant stakeholders. As we're about to wrap our program, we feel that it will be in order to back to Gauteng. We met ministers in the past, AG, and we have extended the invitation, also acknowledging the presence of our AG, Maluleka. So what we'll be doing, we are going to first allow the Premier of Gauteng to have that overview, and then from there we'll revert to the program where with AG and all that, and MEC Kumar, it's on his way. I'm told it's 3 minutes away to our venue. So the Premier decided after our engagement with both of us that it will be a good thing for him to join us, and some issues were supposed to be in Doornfontein, but he decided dealing with ISCOM and other issues, because Parliament is here, ad hoc joint committee is here, is taking the work of the committee serious. We felt that because we understand the magnitude when you are running a province, Honorable Lesufi, the challenge that you have on a daily basis, we're just going to allow you, we're going to officially, at an appropriate time when it's convenient, allow you to get the time to go and have other programs, because you have shown that you take what we're doing very serious, and we also acknowledge the challenge juggling with your diary and attend this work. Let me also call people coming from different departments, but after the program, the address that will be done by the Premier, will have an opportunity to have the formal introduction, so that we'll know who's here, and have the formal apology so that it can be recorded. Faces that will know after Premier has given that overview. Let me take this opportunity and give it to you, Honorable Premier.
Thank you so much, Co-Chair Nyami, as well as Co-Chair Honorable Member Frolik and Honorable Member Nyami. Truly humbled by your kindness and understanding on the work that we're doing. I also want to welcome to our province all honorable members committee, together with our AG, AG Maluleka. Thank you so much, ma'am. And officials that are here. Acknowledge the presence of our MEC responsible for COCTA and eGov in our, and the acting HOD for eGov and HOD responsible for COCTA, and all officials that are. I thought my task was to welcome you to our province, control everything except the weather. So please forgive us that the winter season is refusing to live, and I'm glad that it does so in your presence, so you understand that we live in unpredictable weather patterns that are creating disasters across our province, literally every day. We not only welcome you to provide a sight of the work that we need to do, but we welcome you to strengthen your work, because we really believe it will move forward in some of the areas that we have declared as a disaster, but some of the areas that were failed to declare as a disaster, and some of the areas that we've appealed personally to the President to declare them as a disaster. The province, 3 months ago, held it at its Executive Council, took a decision to reposition disasters as an area of priority, influenced by 3 critical areas. One, obviously, is weather that have taken a turn that is not predictable. Secondly, natural disasters. There are some natural disasters that are beyond, and I'm going to allude to them, that are increasing at a higher pace. One area is called Gauteng Western, where when it's like this, I know sinkholes are going to form and are going to create problems. The same sinkholes are also affecting area and by extension they affect. Thirdly, it's what we can call man-made disasters. In our province, through some disasters, especially in the city of Johannesburg, where disasters caused by fire, where disasters from nowhere, a road will explode and we'll have difficulties that we have. Because of that, formulated a steering committee led by our MEC to assist us in bringing all our disaster management under one roof, to coordinate our intervention methods, but most importantly, to allocate resources that can assist us to deal with these disasters. We've also brought local authorities through executive mayors to assist us to formulate support systems, because we are of the view that we need to complement each other, both on resources, but most importantly, skills that are needed to deal with these disasters. On our own, we also gave the team a very huge task. It's very difficult to say, let's have, they call it search and rescue teams. Am I called HOD? It's search and rescue teams, yeah. That we will behave as if you are in a mine, you know, mines. They don't know when a disaster will hit, so they will have a search and rescue team. It's a new thing that we have elevated, so that when we have a disaster, we have to start afresh, looking for procurement processes when people are down there that need an assistance. So we've given a team to search and rescue team, as and when there are disasters, and the team are at the tail end. A mandate that is outside the ordinary work that we do, but because we know what we are dealing with, we felt that it's something that we've already started the process of establishing. The second area is coordination. Unfortunately, we live in an era of coalition politics, and when there are disasters, role clashing becomes blurred, and we go through role classification challenges where municipalities believe that provincial government is taking over their roles, or sometimes feel that national ministers are over their roles. So that role clarification we've tried very hard to continue to do that. That there are responsibilities. Example, if people go to a mortuary, local government does not have a mandate about mortuaries. And if something, a crime scene, local authorities don't have authorities on crime scene. So we need to find a way of working together. If there's something that I will urge you to guide us and assist us, is that role clarification aspect, where we need to ensure that we jointly manage disasters and we jointly account, jointly approve that we want to be declared as national disaster. We are sitting, for example, with Johannesburg, the Johannesburg explosion as a national disaster because they don't have resources to assist us. And we were not aware whether should we take it to NECLI, we should process it. But the team managed to find a way of managing it in a manner that it can assist it later as a national disaster. The municipality does not have the resources to fix that area. We don't have the resources to assist them. And we really believe that it might fall out on the outside the normal disaster classification. But it's a street that affects thousands and thousands of our people. It's the busiest street in the CBD, but also does not make a look good feel for tourists and visitors when in the middle of a city, it's just a road that looks that particular. Beside the coordination, the third area is the speed of intervention. We've been very struggling with the speed of intervention, justly because we live in a highly regulatory framework, and I'm glad that we have the AG here, that disasters by their own definition calls for speedy intervention. I mean, that's why it's called, they call for a speed intervention, and an area where we find ourselves in that speedy intervention, and we think you see budget either underutilized or budget time to be made available, or service providers that are not capable to intervene to assist. So what we have done as the provincial government, we've just formulated what we call an intergovernmental service delivery front departments to just have an ad hoc intervention systems available. We brought the Department of Health on medication, Department of Social Development on blankets and food, Department of Treasury to assist us on the resources that are. So we've brought all provincial departments and a steering committee that can intervene immediately when there is a problem, utilizing their own. Say to them, and you'll forgive me, and it does not mean that I don't appreciate. We are government, and when there's a disaster, government must be there. NGOs that are assisting must support government, not lead. They must support government. We appreciate the interview. But if government is snoring, sleeping, NGOs will lead, and it will create problems for all of us. So this steering committees assist to ensure that the basics are there from all the departments. Say the Department of Health must ensure that medication is there. The Department of Social Development must ensure blanket, food, things are there, and treasures are released as speedily as possible, so that we can provide support. We are testing this method with an area called Gauteng. We applied to national. Gauteng is in the western. It is an unfortunate situation where everything is swallowed by the ground, including just swallowed, go down. Houses are swallowed. Roads are swallowed. So because it's a disaster that does not occur at once, like an earthquake that swallows things. It's periodic. Today it's a house, tomorrow it's a school, the other day it's national to declare the disaster. They declined it. We wrote a letter to the relevant department. They declined it. The Department of HOC have asked me to sign a letter to the president so that I can appeal this. There are 4 areas that makes this a very interesting test case. For example, we've got a policy on RTPs. You must earn a certain amount of money for us to give you an RTP house. And the size of an RTP house is regulated, and the amount. So if somebody's house is swallowed, is a 6-bed, the expectation is the government must replace it with a 6-room house. And we can't. The housing policy that we have confines us to an RTP house. That's what we can do. And people say, I'd rather die in my house than go to an RTP house. We have been requesting that we be given the mandate to expand